Agents are the thing everyone is talking about, I think for good reason.
Swarm of agents.
AI agents.
Agentic capabilities.
AI agents.
Agents.
A swarm of AI agents is coming. They need tools to get the job done. With BuildShip.Tools, that's easy. Create tools for your AI agents just by prompting. Get a visual, logic flow of the tool instead of a large code blob. Tweak, test, and perfect your tool's logic on an infinite low-code canvas. Ship MCP, ready tools with one click, or export the code to self-host. Build powerful tools for Claude, Cursor 11 Labs Voice, or any AI agent by combining API services and custom logic. Because great agents need great tools.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to our latest release of BuildShip.Tools. I hope you're all having a great day so far, and please chat in the comments where you're tuning in from. And this session is going to be very interactive and casual in terms of sharing with you what we have released, how you can use it, and how you can actually leverage this in your businesses. So to dive right in, what is it that we have released today? It's called BuildShip.Tools. Let me share my screen. All right, so BuildShip.Tools allows you to create custom MCP ready tools that is ready for your agents to use. We have a detailed blog on what it is and how you can use it, and I'm going to just pop it in the comments and you can actually follow along. Essentially, what we are doing here is giving you a platform to vibe code and get started to building your tools. But at the same time, it's a very portable system. That means you can actually share these tools across your agents. Doesn't matter which framework for agent building that you're using. And as you know, AI agents are everywhere, right? It's across different streams of work, be it in customer support, marketing, finance, sales. It's inevitable that AI agents are going to help you in your businesses. And what you can do today is to tool up and actually gear yourself to be the expert that can build these tools that the AI agents need. So the AI agents are only as good as the tools that they have. And that's what we are releasing today, which enables you to build powerful tools, ship them in one click, and have them ready to use in your AI agent of choice, be it Claude, be it 11 Labs, or be it Cursor, anywhere that you actually use these agents. So now, why would you want to release this, right? Like, what's the whole point about this? So first of all, MCPs, this is the standard that the industry has come together on. Previously, there were iterations of it using custom GPTs, if you remember that, or function calling. But essentially, all these were ad hoc and doesn't let you connect to your services in a streamlined manner. And MCP gives that option for you to connect to your services in a shared protocol. But most of the MCP servers that are out there are either one-on-one with your APIs that are right now available, or they are actually released by companies that are doing services that are geared mainly for them. So if you want to build actually some agent that has powerful ability to do tasks, you most likely don't just connect to one MCP server, right? You connect to many different options, and you might need to do some custom logic and authentication and fallback and error handling on top of that. So the one-on-one single API based MCP server only get you so far, but with BuildShip.Tools, we let you connect to any service, any API, and build a fully custom logic flow that you can use in your AI agent as a tool. So that's kind of something super exciting, and we have been actually internally trying this out. We have been giving access to this to the beta users of all the powerful tools that they have actually built, and we are super excited about how far this can go. And as I mentioned, we have like very streamlined process for you to not just build your tool, but have all the checks and balances around it. So be it logging, debugging, version control, things that you in a business that typically expect to have this, or authentication in terms of either API based authentication in a backend tool, not exposing it on the front end, or having OAuth based authentication checks on top. And of course, BuildShip has been built on the premise that it's highly scalable. It's on an infrastructure that lets you go from zero to millions of users. It's not a platform which is just geared for automation. It's built for backend at its core. So essentially, you can start fast and actually go to any scale that you want. And so, without much further ado, let's dive in and give you a walkthrough of what BuildShip is and how you can get started. So first and foremost, you can do it in vibe code style, right? Everybody loves this because you can get started super fast. So let's try that. So on BuildShip.Tools, you go to the website. You can get started with any of the prompts that you want to build. Typically, we say something like, given this input, do these bunch of tasks and give this output. This is a very granular task and tool for your agent. So let's see one example here. This is something that takes in logo image and comes back with a tool. So as you can see, we have a nice prompt here. Let's build this. Let's see what happens. So if you're already a BuildShip user, you'll ask you to select your workspace. But if not, you can create one. So let's do that. As you can see that we have this new thing called Compass, which allows you to build in conversation style. So as you can see, first it kind of goes through the prompt and figures out what you are actually trying to build and gives this skeleton workflow of input to output. So while that's building, you can see that it starts to design this workflow for you. Instead of just directly going and building and giving you random code blob, we give a visual representation of how the flow looks like. So you can actually follow along and see that, hey, it's kind of doing these steps, which is first get the image logo and then upload it to a storage, get the image generation and so on. So let's click start building to see actually this no code design version translated into actual flow. So obviously, as with any kind of Compass or vibe coding style chat builder, it kind of gets better and better over time. So right now we have all these examples. You can try with them. You can try with your own. It kind of gets it from the node library, perfects them. And as you kind of keep building, it keeps getting better. So as you can see here, it starts to build the workflow for you. So started with input fields. It fills the fields and it then actually replaces the nodes with actual code nodes and also fills the input values in one node to another node and so on. So right now it created the nodes. Now it's going ahead and filling these inputs and outputs. Let's give it a second. And while that's happening, let's see in the comments. Wow, so many people tuning in from different folks. Hey from London. Hey, Colin from Bahrain. How are you? Yeah, so while this is happening, as you can see with BuildShip, every node, as it always been, you can actually access the code. So this is not a no-code tool. It's not something that is a black box situation. You can actually go into the code and actually see what's happening. You can make changes directly at the code level. But coming back here, you can see that what it actually did is build this tool for you, and it's trying to now fill these values for you. Obviously, you can also go ahead and do this yourself. Say, suppose you have this reference field that you want to pass in this URL here. You can actually select the input and select the image URL. Let's give it a chance to fill it. But what's happening here is you have something called AI Lens now, which is ability for you to see the workflow in a visual representation design style that I spoke about first. Second is the no code layer, which is what is happening here. As you can see, it's starting to fill these input and outputs. And then obviously the code layer, which is going ahead and seeing the code of individual nodes itself. So you can choose how you want to play. This is an infinite AI canvas. You have all these nodes, by the way, that you can directly add, or you can continuously edit with AI here. So as you can see, it has filled up everything. And some of these nodes like OpenAI, we have the keyless experience. So you don't need to add a key. You can just go ahead and use this. Of course, if you can bring your own key as well, you can do that. So let's go ahead and test this. We have some examples already pre-populated here. So it's logo and things like that. So let's give this test flow a try. So let's kind of put away some things, make the screen better. Okay, so you can see that what's happening here on the screen. So it kind of gives you a representation of what's happening in the flow. It kind of follows step by step. It's at this point right now. You can also look at the logs. Just like a developer would build, every aspect of coding is made into a visual representation here. But at the back, obviously, it's code, so you can go to code level anytime you need. So while that's running, so first time it actually builds the workflow, it takes a few more extra seconds than usual. But once it actually builds, next time onwards is much faster. So here, as you can see, what it did is it took this image. So let's see this image, which is some kind of a textured painting. And it took this logo, which is BuildShip's logo, and kind of merged them together using this image generator. So this is a very easy, quick flow that we have built. And this is now actually a tool that you can use, for example, in Claude. So let's go ahead and do that. So here on the tool trigger, if I click, this is a new trigger that we have added, which allows you to instantly get, first of all, an API key, so it's secure. Secondly, it allows you to connect or in a specific kind of AI agent that you might need. So if you are building like an MCP server, here you get a step-by-step instructions of how you can connect this with Claude. We have a easy hosted experience for you on BuildShip. So you can take this NPM, put it in a terminal, run that command, and it attaches you to your Claude app. But the more interesting thing we have also launched is there's no lock-in. You can actually create this flow and you can self-host as well. So here we have this option for you to self-host. And going back to the build section of the canvas, you can see there's a new export as a function option for you. So if you run the same command in a terminal, this will download this code for this workflow, and then you can self-host anywhere you want. So yeah, you have multiple ways to take this and build this and extract this and run this. Of course, if you run this directly on BuildShip, it's so much faster and easier. So let's see why. Let me go ahead and ship this. It takes a few seconds to ship this, but once it does, you go back to the connect section, you'll see that here I have, for example, 11 Labs voice agent or like an MCP desktop agent, right? So it gives you this instant NPX package that you can take and run it in your command line. Let me share my screen to make sure the terminal and everything is accessible on the view. So let me go ahead and share the entire screen. Okay, hopefully you can see that now. All right, so if I run this command, you can see that it'll install this shipped tool into my Claude desktop app. So it's building the project, it's kind of going to install it, and let me have my Claude ready for this. All right, so it installed, it restarted. This is a new thing in Mac, apparently. Previously, you had to restore. You might have to do that still in Windows. But yeah, you can go ahead and see that, hey, the applied 3D texture to logo is now installed here. Awesome, right? Like this is super cool. And this is one example, but if you want to build multiple tools, you can do that as well. So for example, here I have another workflow, which is connecting something more powerful. So given a customer email, you want to figure out, hey, if this customer is in my, first of all, Stripe as a paying user, and also in my database as someone who is using the product, right? Like for example, if your database is MongoDB, here what it does is given a customer email, it does parallelly check two services and comes back with all the information about them. So this is kind of the next stage of a tool. So in the previous version, we saw something super simple. Given something, it does something and comes back with one thing. Whereas here, it kind of goes and does multiple things. So this is where the power of BuildShip.Tools really starts to shine. So here, same thing. Let's try it out. I've already shipped this workflow as a Claude MCP tool. And if I go back here and pick up this example and come to Claude and try this out, can you tell me about this customer? Let's see what it says. So hopefully it says that, first of all, it's using the tool, right? So it's saying that by using the Stripe and MongoDB lookup tool, it's going to look up that person. And you can see that we have a sample database on MongoDB and Stripe, and it says this person is a starter, paid plan. It's a they have used 6 hours of execution on BuildShip, for example. So now you have ability to give your customer support agent a powerful tool to look up information. They're not just going to multiple places and services and doing things, they're actually doing something more meaningful. Now they can also take actions on this behalf. So if you had a tool, for example, that updates someone's paid plan to some other plan, you can do that, or add credits. You can do all of this instead of going and giving access to every support agent on a Stripe console, for example. So this is an entire kind of walkthrough of what you can do. But let me come back to the higher picture, right? So I want to reiterate this point that MCPs are beyond this one-to-one API connection. So you need to be able to connect to multiple sources to actually build something meaningful. A customer support agent, as we saw, connects to multiple tools, and specific actions actually need to do over multiple tools. You might have like a marketing agent who is connected to a social media, across different social media, right? But they might be generating one content. A publish kind of a task might be publishing it across different things. So you need to connect to multiple tools here. So that's kind of what we have launched today. And this AI code canvas that you see is available to everything, not just tools, but you can actually use it across building your workflows itself. So our AI compass that we have allows you to now build entire workflows, not just individual nodes. So if I go back to BuildShip here, you can see that we have multiple ways you can engage with this. You can build with AI on a workflow. You can also edit with AI. So when you click this button, you'll now be able to edit and modify nodes logic. And of course, individual nodes itself, you can continue to use AI to reference and use them. So we'll have a bunch of questions popping up. So keep them coming. I'll be answering it towards the end of the stream. And we also have another live stream tomorrow where we will be going in depth into building something from beginning to end. So this session is meant for a quick high-level walkthrough, whereas we'll be building some more in-depth examples tomorrow. We also have 4 tutorial videos launched on our YouTube channel. Colin has posted them, which is how to build sales agent, marketing agent, product management, and a couple of specific examples so that you can get a really good idea of how to build end-to-end. All right, going back here, as I said, we can now host and export your tool and self-host as well. For some of the users, this is more exciting. And then, of course, BuildShip is also enterprise grade ready. It's highly secure and scalable. You get all the other features that already are available to BuildShip users for building tools as well. Okay, so that's what BuildShip.Tools is. Now, the good thing is you don't have to start from scratch. Nobody likes to do that. You can write code it this way, but you can also actually explore tons of tools that we have published already for popular use cases. So, for example, YouTube Affiliate Finder. Maybe you're looking to collaborate with YouTube folks and you want to, given a topic, find out all the creators who build it in that genre, right? You can do that. If you want to, for example, 11 Labs text-to-speech is one of the tools where given a text, you want to generate an audio file. maybe put it in your app or something like that. You can do that. One of the interesting examples Shams and Colin are going to discuss tomorrow in the live stream is also around how do you update data in a CMS using tools. How do you update a website's content instead of using the traditional dashboard style CMS management tools? You can actually now have an agentic experience to just say, hey, update this, and then the tool can go and figure out where to place it, how to place it, make it grammatically correct and things like that. So yeah, lots of examples here. Give it a try. And one more thing, by the way, is that now you can start publishing tools and get discovered in our tools library as well. So all you need to do is, if you have built something cool and you want to share it with your community or share it with others in BuildShip network, you can essentially go here and share, publish to community. And all you need to do is just give a few simple examples. You need to have at least one example, and also make sure you have these kind of categories filled out. And once you do, you get immediately a remix kind of a link directly on our website, BuildShip.Tools. So for example, if I go all the way down, I'll be able to see some of the tools that are getting started to publish. So let's see, many tools from BuildShip itself looks like. But yeah, let me go try to find some non-BuildShip tools. So yeah, Colin published just now looks like a tool to generate podcast on a specific 1 minute summary. So if I go and open this up, all right, something is off with my internet, I guess. All right, here it is. Yeah, you can see that, there is an example that we can see, and this is something Colin created. So you can have your profile up on BuildShip. We'll be expanding this to the creators network. So check this out, and we'll have a lot more announcements throughout this week. Today is just day one. So yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the launch happening this week. Join us on our Discord. So let me share a few useful links here. So first up, this blog, let me post that. And then we are also live on Product Hunt today. So if you enjoyed this or trying this and want to support what we have been building and our team, we would love for you to check out our Product Hunt posts, give us a vote, comment. This really helps us go far and spread the word. And then we have also the live stream that I mentioned tomorrow by Shams and Colin. So I'll post a link to that as well. So make sure to sign up for that so that it marks your calendar and you have it available for you to join and go much more in depth than what I did today. Yeah, so that's kind of what I had in mind. Let's go through the questions. Cool. So someone has a question. Yeah, so Billy has a question that, do you have a concept of deploying to a dev environment, then later to a prod environment? Well, yes. So in our enterprise plan, we have the multiple environment options. We have things like role-based access control. So if I go back here, so when you do deploy, right now, it's just one environment because I'm on the pro plan here. But if you do actually want environments and you're building in a business, you have the option to upgrade to the enterprise plan where you get environments, and not just that, but you get version control, Git connectivity, alerting mechanism on Datadog and other tools that you might care about. So you can work closely with our engineers and custom build for you. So if that is something your business is seeking, you can explore that. We also have other tiered plans. So if I go to BuildShip pricing, you will be able to check out in detail about what we offer. So we do have a very generous free tier for you to not even put in your credit card. You can try, explore, play. You can actually go far in the free tier itself. But if you care about any of these other things like team collaboration, more active flows and things like that, you can upgrade as needed. So you can choose what is right for you. Okay. All right. So, well, yeah, so how do you connect to other agents? That's a question I see. So as I said here, let me go back here. So when you go to the Connect tab and add the trigger, the new trigger that we have, which is the tool trigger, you'll see that there's a default setup, which is like typically like a API. So you have the API endpoint. You can copy paste this open API specifications if the other side allows it. If it's an API based connections, you can use this. We also have like specific configurations customized. So if there's any specific AI agent builder platform that you want us to add to, join our Discord and let us know, and we'll be very easily able to add instructions of how you can do that. So, for example, Python requests, you can do that. Web browser implementation, there's some instructions here. So let me pop in our Discord channel as well. We have something called feedback there, and we'll be able to build it for you. And just a heads up, our team really listens to all the feedback and builds really fast for you. So we welcome any kind of feedback that you have. All right. Can you build on an existing code base? How do you upload images to BuildShip? Okay, so there are a few kind of nuances here. So if I go back here on our settings, there is option for storage. So you are able to use BuildShip's built-in storage, but also you can actually use any third-party storage services and actually use that as a way to just via external URL, or using, for example, if you're using S3 buckets, we have custom nodes for that. So depending on where your storage is, you can use it. We also have a built-in database. So in case you don't want to use any other database, we have support for almost all the database out there. But BuildShip also comes with a database experience where it's a very Airtable-like experience of viewing your data in a table manner. So you can use that if you like. So the USP of BuildShip over other platforms, right? So we are focused on allowing you to create AI workflows and tools for AI agents. So if you think about it, there might be a really good AI agent built on a specific model today. There might be something else tomorrow. So AI agents are almost like the person you hire for the job. But for each of these person that you hire, you need to give tools for them to be able to do the job well. So the tools for doing the job are kind of standardized. They don't change. So you can take these tools and port from one agent to another. So that's where we are focused on, where we allow you to create standardized workflows and tools that are kind of giving you a systematic deterministic answers rather than something that can hallucinate. So AI agents, you can give these tools, and if tomorrow you want to change your AI agent, you take these tools and plug and play anywhere you want. That's kind of where our differentiation is. We also have, on our website, a couple of comparisons that you can take a look at. And really, like, we want to be able to allow you to have a experience that allows you to have that feeling of like, hey, I'm not roadblocked at any point. So here, for example, we have lots and lots of integrations, but it's not like, if integration is not available, you're stuck. It's not like a black box experience, because you can build your own nodes. Every node here, you can open up the code, make changes and make it your own. Every template, you can take it and make it your own. So every aspect of BuildShip is built on the premise of very flexible, very customizable. And at the end of the day, it's a code. You can export the code as well. All right. Hopefully that answers the question. And let's go and look at a few more questions. V3 is going really hard. We are calling this BuildShip.Tools or the Ship Week launch. It's effectively all the things that we've been working on for the past couple of months. We've been really iterating and figuring out what you would like and what you can benefit from. And that's kind of what we want to deliver for you. Yes, so there is plans to support Python in the future. By the way, the tool trigger also has the Python-based request for you now. So you can actually build these flows and use them in your Python applications, and if you like. But we are also building something that will allow you to build with Python itself. Okay, hopefully that's all the questions. But even otherwise, if you have any further questions, join our Discord. We have really great community, um, about 7,000 odd folks at this point, and we want to really build with you, and we would love to learn what you are building and how we can help you. So hopefully enjoy this session, and as I said earlier, check out our product hunt launch. We have a bit more in-depth reasoning of why we release this, what is going on. And if you do drop a comment and share and upvote, and we also have like Twitter and LinkedIn posts, so if you engage with those and send us a screenshot, we are actually giving away 100,000 in credits during this ship week. So we would love for you to engage with our posts and also grab some free credits in the process to enjoy building more things. All right. Thank you, everybody. All right. Looks like a one final question by Jack Martin. What's the best feature you are super excited about, and possibly the aha moment in BuildShip you can demonstrate? So I think the super exciting thing that we have been working on is definitely the compass. So if you look at this here, it really has changed the way we build as well. So most of the workflows and nodes that you see are all being built by Compass. So here we are really enjoying the process of building with AI, but unlike other vibe coding platforms, it's not giving you this mega code blob, then you get lost in it. Changes are difficult. Our experience and our approach is that, hey, you can build with AI, but we give you a visual representation, much more easier to understand, much more easier to granularly change things, and actually much more accurate in the long run. So that's what we are super excited about. All right, great. Awesome, everybody. Thank you. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what you build, and join us for our next session, and stay tuned on our YouTube channel. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.